Hi, and welcome to the Getting In Book website. I just wanted to take a couple minutes of your time to introduce you to the site and explain some of the features of this site that you can access to help you with your creative and artistic development, to help you with your application process to art school, and hopefully as a place that you'll visit throughout your post-secondary years and beyond as a place of encouragement and inspiration for your creative life. My name is Nancy Crawford, and I'm the author of the Getting In book and creator of this website and visual art programs. Pretty much all of my life I've been involved with the creative process, making stuff, creating art, and of course dealing with the peaks and valleys that are part of the terrain of any kind of creative life. For the past 3 decades though, I've also been involved with teaching visual art to artists just like you who are highly creative and want their lives to revolve around their creativity and their artistic aspirations, but are maybe a little bit mystified as to how to do that. I've worked with hundreds of students and helped them create amazing portfolios, apply to art school, and to really get a lot out of their post-secondary art experiences and thrive as artists after they graduate. Throughout those years of working as an art teacher, really one of the things that I became very aware of was all of the challenges and obstacles that were facing my students. And this came in a variety of forms. A number of them felt mystified as to how to actually improve as artists. And that could be anything from, how do they become a better draftsman? How do they draw with accuracy and proportion? They had challenges around, how do I take an idea, something that I'm really passionate about, and turn it into a unified series of works? There was, questions they had around how do I create an amazing portfolio? They also had to deal with a lot of misinformation that was out there about the art school application process. Many of them were riddled with doubts and fears. They questioned their ability to be artists. They were caught up in that kind of, the cliche of the starving artist. And just as a side note, I should say that over the decades that I've been involved, that has not been my experience at all. Students that I've worked with and coached have not only gone on to amazing art schools around the world, but they've graduated as outstanding artists and are now working as artists and designers all around the world, really creating wonderful lives for themselves and using their creativity to create a better world and to lead really purposeful lives. Another thing is that many of my students were riddled with what I'll call procrastination. Now, you maybe don't struggle with that, but for a lot of people, they were wondering how to deal with artist blocks, or what do you do when the well feels dry and you're not sure how to create? So I started actually getting very frustrated with the process because I realized there had to be a better way. There had to be a better way of systematically going at this so that the students were experiencing the joy of creating, the intensity of passion to create meaningful works, and to have a wonderful experience applying to art school and then carrying on as artists in their lives. So the Getting In book actually in this website is a big part of my answer to that, as to how to support emerging artists and creatives to build that life that has meaning and creativity to it. So let's talk a little bit about what you can actually find on this site. Well, first of all, I hope you've got the Getting In book. The book itself is really a very thorough and comprehensive guide that deals with a myriad of things that are involved with the creative process, probably some of the things that you're aware of and a lot of the things that you might not be. So it looks at everything from, who are you as a person and what are your skill sets, and maybe what are the artistic fields or careers that you might be well suited for. It gets into, how do you even start researching post-secondary schools and looking at the options there. Of course, the bulk of the book deals with the almighty portfolio. How do you create with meaning and purpose? How do you develop a unified personal series of works? All the key elements of the application process, of which there are 10, which is often a surprise to people because they think, once they've created the great works of art, that's it, they're in. So it deals with everything basically from the first stages of the process and exploration right through to how do you fund your post-secondary. So I hope you've got the book. If you don't, stop by one of your favorite booksellers, or there's a number of links at the bottom of this website on this homepage. You can visit one of your bookstores and pick up that resource. That's the first thing. Secondly, if you go to the additional content page on this website, you're going to find at this point over 20 templates that you can download, and that really supports a lot of the materials in the book. So it's everything from handouts and sheets where you can store your post-secondary research. There's templates that you can use to track your artistic progress. There's goal and kind of challenge setting sheets. There's all sorts of things that really support the information and descriptions that are in the book. Now that additional content page is going to be really the section of the website that grows exponentially over time, because additional images will be loaded onto that page. There'll be all sorts of videos that you can watch, whether it's interviews with other artists and creatives to see, how do they deal with creative blocks or challenges? How did they decide what art careers they were well suited for? There'll be interviews with admissions reps, all sorts of different things that you can access there that will hopefully be, really inspiring and interesting for you. The other thing is there'll be self-care tips. You might even find some tasty recipes there. So there's going to be all sorts of things that you can access off that additional content area of the website. Another area that you want to visit, of course, are the galleries pages. And there's a number of examples of student artwork, and that'll be changing up over time. So you can see how other artists, young artists like yourself, have dealt with the range section of their portfolio, creating a personal series of works. What's a sketchbook? What's that all about? And what should my sketchbook look like? There's also a section on idea generation. So all of those things can be found on the galleries pages on the website. Another thing I want to mention is the creativity blog. It's called The Creative Commitment. You can access it through this website. I hope you'll sign up to join that. It's a free resource. You can be joining a community of other artists and designers and creative individuals throughout the world. Basically, it's an area where we get together and share best practices and information around everything that is involved with the creative process, from self-care to dealing with the creative process, all sorts of different and interesting topics. That's also the place where I load up new examples of artwork and discuss them, deal with portfolio tips. It's one of the first places that I outline new courses that are coming online or that are available. So lots of cool stuff to be found on the Creative Commitment blog. So hopefully, like I say, you'll join us there. Now, speaking of course information, if you visit the programs page on the website, you can find out about a whole series of different programs that are available to further support you in your artistic and creative development. So those might be live programs that are happening, whether it's workshops, programs, or talks that are happening in my hometown of Vancouver, and also that are happening in locations around North America and internationally that might be accessible to you. There's also a whole series of online programs that we have coming up that you'll be able to access through that programs page as well. So I think at this point that's pretty much what I wanted to share with you. As I mentioned, hopefully this will be kind of your creative home away from home, a place that you can come to for tips, advice, support, camaraderie, great ideas, and really just a place that you can access that will help you in producing your work and reaching your artistic and creative goals. So thanks for stopping by, and I'm looking forward to working with you. Happy creating. Bye for now.